Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto, and we're looking at an Evo 9 station wagon. And so this is kind of a limited edition version of the car. They only made the Evo wagon for a single generation, the Evo 9. It has the same 4G63 engine, puts out 280 or more horsepower. Station wagon body, complete with the widened fenders front and rear. And this one comes with an automatic transmission, but you can get it with a 6-speed manual. We'll just have a look at the condition of the car here, compare it to the auction inspection sheet. This one was bought from auction here in Japan. We're going to be sending this one over to France. Just switch the engine off here. So we'll take a look at the interior, exterior, and other things as well. This one has 120,000 kilometers, as you can see there. This is cool. You can pick tarmac, gravel, or snow. For the AYC. We actually have a turbo timer, that's why the car didn't turn off. Let's just switch this off. Okay, and it says here what to do with the active center differential mode. And so it says that tarmac is for in the dry. You should use gravel when you're driving in the wet. But I suppose that's only if you're going to be driving like a hooligan in the wet, because you can just keep it on tarmac for the wet as long as you're not going to be slipping those tires. Anyways, engine bay, there is no rust, which is a little bit weird for Mitsubishi's, to be honest. Has a Rally Art air deflector piece here. The idea of this is to trap more of the air and have more of it go through the radiator. Helps with cooling. This also helps with cooling. That is a fully functional hood vent. That's on all of the Evos. It has a Rally Art sticker on there. I'm not sure if this one is any different from the regular one. Okay, so the coolant looks good with a little bit of rust around the neck. Probably get that changed and flushed out. The oil was low. I put in an extra liter, what I call safety oil. It's at about the min mark right now, so get that changed as soon as the vehicle lands. And then in 2015, the car had 94,000 kilometers and the timing belt was changed. And so that's lucky. It wasn't mentioned on the auction inspection sheet. It's an original front strut tower brace that comes on this. And I actually gave this one a little drive, simply because I'd never driven an Evo wagon before. This is maybe the third or fourth, oh that's broken, third or fourth one that we've bought, but I'd never driven one. Also had never driven an automatic Evo, so that was interesting for me. Used to own an automatic Legacy with 280 horsepower out of a 2-liter and quite liked that. And so it was quite interesting for me to drive this. It's fast. You can shift yourself if you like, which is cool. I think the party piece for this really is the looks and the fact that they decided to make a station wagon. This is Mitsubishi we're talking about. It's a company that has a ton of money, but their automotive arm of it doesn't have a ton of money. It doesn't tend to do market share, the whole market share thing very well. So it must have been an expensive money-losing endeavor, but one that I'm glad that they did. Because we get a cool car like this. I really want one of these for myself. Mind you, I'd want the 6-speed manual, but I know some people would want the automatic over the manual. Okay, it's the 2005 from October Lancer Wagon Evolution GTA. The A there is for the automatic transmission version. Okay, it has 120,250 kilometers on it. Sales points here see it's purchased from user, Recaro seats, turbo engine, Octave 4, interior and exterior are both B. I think they're being a little bit nice on that, actually. I think exterior and interior might be better as a C and a C there. I could see it being a 4, maybe a 3.5, but you have to understand that these grades are really just the base, and then the real condition is after you check the report section, and then the real condition is after you see the car in person. Anyways, more on that in a sec. The report here says windshield rock chip, nothing to worry about in my mind. Interior scratched and dirty. It's fair. The steering wheel is really the only big problem. It's a little bit dirty. It doesn't smell bad. The shift knob is peeling a bit. Overall, actually maybe a B interior would be pretty accurate. Anyway, steering wheel peeling. It's really bad. Wheels scratched. It's fair. It's okay. They're original wheels. Seat wrinkles. Yeah, the half leather seats wrinkle on the outside. Mitsubishi doesn't use a high grade leather, so it tends to crack after 10 years or so. These ones don't have any rips or anything, but you can see the cracks in the outside, and you can restore that if you want. Okay, various scratches and dents, and then it says scuff on the front bumper. That to me didn't look like a problem. The body's actually really good, but see all of these little A's? Those are little scratches, but really it's a form of paint fade. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look here, and keep looking. There's the little scratches, but that's not scratches, that's paint fade. And it's on a number of places. It's on the hood quite a bit. It's on the roof quite a bit. It's on the top of this door, and a little bit on this fender even. And so those areas really are going to need some new paint. And while you're at it, if you're doing the roof, the hood, the fender, the door, the back fender as well, you might want to do the whole car, unfortunately. The good news is it's an Evo wagon, and it's really sweet, and the world doesn't have enough of these. As far as I know, they might have been an only in Japan kind of car. But yeah, it is disappointing to see that, especially since the auction sheet didn't completely spell it out that it was peeling. I mentioned in the other video that comes with this that it could certainly be that this car was reported when it was wet, because that kind of damage becomes just about invisible on a wet car. The water hides all of those scratches completely. Anyways, we can look at it from the rear here. I do want to mention the widened over fenders look even better on this than they do on the real Evo. Just kind of come over here. Because they are the same width, but you get this cool little pretend vent in the back here that really accentuates how wide that they are, because it just chops it off right there. And I think that looks great. They're not real vents. If you really wanted to, you could cut holes in them, I suppose. It's cool. This one does not have vents, but the cabriolet version of it has a similar vent, a pretend vent that goes right here. And I've always thought that the Evo one looks just like the Cabriolet City. There's a spoiler on the roof. Station wagons are actually kind of aerodynamic. There was a time in the 70s where race cars started becoming station wagon shape because they thought it would be good aerodynamics, only to find out that it's actually not the best shape for race cars unless you want your race cars to fly. It has a rear diffuser here, which is not a real rear diffuser. It's just decoration, like so many other cars. Rear diffusers don't really do all that much anyway, unless you're flat bottoming your car. The trunk is, this is Impreza wagon size, or Evo wagon, obviously. You get a little bit more room than you do in an Impreza wagon, and Evos are faster than Imprezas, in my experience. Basically every generation is faster. Don't know about the 10 because I haven't driven one. But I love the way that this one drove. I was expecting it to be a bit floppier. Like with a station wagon, you're losing some of your rigidity. Evo 9s are already fairly rigid. Okay, this is the Evo 9 front bumper. You can always tell because it has circles in there. The circles don't really do anything. They're basically there just for looks. If you really wanted to, you could pipe those into either intake or brake cooling, which is cool. Comes with a front mount intercooler from stock. There's the badge is peeling a little bit. I'm just going to go over some of the damages here. The metal piece inside here has some surface rust. Doesn't look like there's any troubles with it, but it would look a lot better if it's painted. Same thing with the surround here, and there's some peeling paint on the aluminum there. Okay, the hood, yep, the fade on the hood. You can probably see that there. A little touch of rust on the wiper arm. The roof has some minor dents at the back. Looks like roof racks might have been on this in the past. And then the rain gutter cover here has peeling. Has an aftermarket little antenna thing. And probably functional spoiler. But boy, could that look better with a bigger wing on it. I like it though. I really like it. I love the size of these, and every time I see one on the road, I'm like, I want one of those. So, let's have a look at the rear, the trunk in here. The trunk is about that big. It is about 1.7 times a Volkswagen Golf trunk size. Which, to be honest, for a wagon, you'd really want to have a bigger trunk than that for it to be a proper wagon. It's bigger than a hatchback, but it's not much bigger than a hatchback. It's not legacy size. But I like how the back window is upright, so it gives you lots of vertical loading space. You also have a storage compartment in here, a small one. And another storage compartment in here. And a spare tire underneath. Now this one is remarkably clean rust-wise, which is not something that you can say for all the Evos. It's very hard to get an Evo without rust, but have a look at this. That's good. And also, look at that. Ooh, look at your independent rear suspension. Okay. You get this. This one doesn't have headrests in it, and it's a 60-40 split. You can see where that splits. You can do down one of the seats if you want. Close that up. Go into the, I guess we'll do driver's side first and then the rear. Okay, so no peeling in the door cards, no fade on the plastic here. That is something that you'll typically see, especially on one that has fade on the mirror, for example, and fade on the rest of the body. Steering wheel, yeah. If you were here at the beginning of the video, you would have seen that already. It's really bad, like chunks of it have gone missing. It's a shame because Momo makes the steering wheel in this. Momo, what are you thinking? Italian steering wheel. Okay, the seat. Now, I did take my wife for a drive in this, and she said, "It feels like the seat is hugging me." That's not an accurate representation of what my wife sounds like, but that is what she said, which is cool. Recaro seats with a nice big hug. See how deep those bolsters are? And then cracking on the outside. Of course, you can restore leather, so the cracks go away. And then no signs of cigarette burns inside. It smells good inside the vehicle. That was another one of the comments my wife said. We drive a minivan, and she said the interior is too tight for her. She also said a Lamborghini is too tight for her. Earlier today when we were driving to somewhere. It's funny, she never drives with me, but, well, she does for regular things, but not for work things. Just today, Mike's off. And so she had to help me with those. So, yeah, you feel like you get your full 280 horsepower in this with the automatic transmission. I'm not a huge fan of shifting myself in an auto, but if that's all you have, then that's good. Plus, you save an awful lot with the auto over the manual. It's close to $10,000 difference. Okay, the carbon fiber on here is just carbon fiber look. It's not real carbon fiber. There's some glue marks on the dashboard there. The AC works, of course. Alright, it's a very simple AC, my favorite. It is climate control AC though, so you can set your temperature if you like. It doesn't have steering wheel buttons, which I don't know. I've never really had a car with shift yourself automatic transmission, but if I had one, I feel like I would want buttons on the steering wheel. It feels awkward to use the shifter, and then you put it off to the side, and then like a sequential, you just go up and down here. You don't have to let off the gas or anything, but I don't know. To me, I'm so used to a manual that changing my own gears without actually going into gear in the clutch, I guess it's something you'd have to get used to. At least for me it is. Okay, back seats. Oh man, every time you open the back door, it's like, this is the section that doesn't exist for the people who didn't get the Evo. They make a regular version of this wagon. I think it's, man, what's it called? Libra wagon or something? Lancer Sedia is the first gen, and then this gen, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, you can get a wagon in this body style, and it is not nearly as cool. It's like 10% as cool. Okay, the back seats here. There's a flip down with cup holders inside. Okay, and plenty of leg room for this size of car. I suppose that some of the trunk room was sacrificed for that, but it started off as a sedan body style, and so that would be the same leg room that you get in the regular Evo 9. Give you a quick look here. The seat backs are hard plastic, which is kind of derpy, but they're the same ones that you always get in Evos. Okay. There's my car. What's up, man? You don't get to see it there usually, but had to pull out the carrier for some reason. So that's where my car usually goes. Okay, so Evo 9. Want to have one myself. Or 2. Or 6. Okay, so there we have it. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. If you don't, thank you so much, and have a nice day.